Do you suffer from male pattern baldness? Well, I've got all your answers for that today on the Wrestling with the Paranormal show. Tell them, Stan.
We're doing Dogman at the old mill.
What's that, Lassie? There's trouble at the old mill? You're supposed to put in the trailer.
I don't even know what to say what I've just watched.
I think Enlightened One thinks he has the cure for male pattern baldness.
I wasn't on about that. I'm on about the dog part.
Lassie is not a part of this episode.
No, she's not.
Is Lassie a girl?
I don't know. In this day and age, who knows?
I never really looked into that. Is Lassie a girl? Of course, let me introduce myself. I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing dry, and I'm ready for some Wrestling with the Paranormal.
And I'm, of course, the Magician. This is the only paranormal show made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans. And remember, the only one. No more shows, just the only one.
Now, you're the Magician. What's your favorite magic trick that you do?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Making people disappear. You know,
You've done that one.
Yes, but not in the ways you think.
You killed them?
I can confirm I can confirm nor deny that comment.
Yeah, of course, as always, we have a very jam-packed show for you today.
We've always got a jam-packed show.
We got coupons for pizza. We've got. Oh no, sorry, different show. Of course, we have our favorite part. No, I don't know if it's our favorite part, but it's a love part. I love going. You know, like Uncle. Do you remember DuckTales?
I do.
And what happened when they opened up the vault?
There's plenty of things.
Well, Scrooge McDuck would dive into the coins. We're going to take a deep dive into the vault. Here we go.
It looks like it's time to open up the vault.
Do you know the combination?
Boop.
Wackadoodle, wackadoodle-doo. Wackadoodle is the password, of course. If you want to get in the vault every episode, you need a password, and that's the password, wackadoodle. We're going to ask you next week. If you don't remember the password,
screw you.
Screw you, Haney.
But if you do go in the vault, you've got to leave a chocolate bar in there for me or the Enlightened One, because he does get very peckish.
We got GM Joe and Noob watching here today.
Of course we have. And then, hey, wackadoodle.
Yes.
He's learning. So,
I gotta lay off the sweets, so I gotta tell you that.
Why?
I'm going on a diet. Really trying to get in shape, get my health back in order. Yeah, it's just so I really put my focus on in this new year.
Mm-hmm.
And my New Year's resolution comes a month late. But what are we saying, right?
Yeah, it's like one a month. There's like 12 different things throughout the year.
No. I gotta keep this one consistent. It's the only thing I care about.
Of course, the vault. I mean, everybody watches this on a weekly basis. This is where we take it deep down to our vault. There could be absolutely anything there. There could be a sandwich. There could be peanut butter. I don't know what's in there.
Right now, there's celery because I need something that's calorie free. So I'm gonna eat this celery here in the vault. No, but like I figured out celery is a really good thing. A little bit of salt on it at nighttime. Maybe you got the munchies. Just celery. It's not really great, but at least it keeps your you occupy from other calorie taking things like a big piece of cake or something.
So if you're saying if you had to choose between celery and a piece of cake, you're going to choose the celery?
I have to. I have to.
If you have, there's a difference between you have to and you want to, right?
Yes, I want the cake, but I know that cake is going to kill me. Of course, let's get involved. Let's show the first video. What do we got?
So this is called Dog Knows. Here we go.
The dog knows.
Wait, what? What am I looking at here? Oh.
The dog's looking at something.
Mm-hmm.
Paying attention. There seems to be something that it's looking at over there.
It's like
And
a
it's
shadow on the
scared.
ground. Do you see it?
Oh, it's behind the stairs.
Wait, what?
See if we can get a close up of this. It's wagging its tail, though. Did you see that?
I did. That is weird, but now I'm too busy focused on the stairs.
Okay, look.
Whoa. What the hell?
Do you know what?
What?
I'm gonna say this is busted.
Okay, what makes you think that?
Because you get a guy all in black
Mm-hmm.
hanging up by the stairs. The dogs are watching him, wagging their tails.
It's like that person knows the dog.
Well, that dog isn't wagging his tail, though. The other one was. So is it busted?
I don't know. I mean, now you've mentioned it. I mean, why
I don't
the
think
dog-
it's a ghost. I don't think it's a ghost.
No. So
Can we say
shall
that's busted?
shall we do it?
Busted!
Boom.
So the dog might not know him. The one dog's wagging his tail.
Mm-hmm.
I think that guy's clearly just wearing black clothes.
Yeah, it's not showing like ghost-like figure thing. It's just like moving around a little bit. I'm
You
definitely.
can see the features on, like he could have a black hoodie on, but I just think he's wearing black clothes.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that's a busted one, right?
But what I like about this is it's a dog video,
Mm-hmm.
and this episode is the Dogman at the old mill.
Yep.
So we got a for the dogs episode today. So if you got if you got a dog out there, gather them around and let's hear some dog ghost stories.
There you go. So the next video, it's not a dog one, but it's called Haunted Gamer. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Shifts when the homeowner, having long harbored suspicions that his residence is haunted, questions aloud, "Why do you keep turning off the TV?"
Why do you keep turning off the TV? Ooh.
Before viewers can ponder the question, a rocking chair in the room eerily begins to move, all on its own. The visibly shaken homeowner then calls out to his wife, seeking validation for the bizarre event.
Hey, hon. Come here. Look.
No, I can't deal with that.
I don't think it's just down here.
But from her response, an exhausted dismissal from upstairs, it's evident this isn't the first strange occurrence in the household. As if this scenario wasn't unsettling enough, take a look at what happens next.
Oh, I'm not liking this. Oh, wow. Wait. I swear I can see. Ooh, stop it. I'm not liking that. There it goes.
Watching that again, in the reflection of the TV, you can see a shadowy figure rising up from the rocking chair.
Oh, wow. Wait. I swear I can see.
Swiftly panning the camera to catch the figure, he finds nothing.
I'm not liking that.
Dude, I've got shivers.
I saw your face change as soon as you saw the ghost in the TV.
Oh man, I've got shivers, man. What the hell?
The wife was like, "I'm not dealing with this today."
I was just expecting the rocking chair all the time, and then when you looked in like the reflection, it's like, whoa, dude, I'm not kidding. I've generally got shivers.
I saw your face on the side, and I watched your facial expression change. You're like, no.
No.
And then when they play it again, you're like, I'm not watching this again.
No, if you could watch this again, but if not, I'm turning it the other way.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. This is. I feel like this is legit.
Yeah.
But I also want to comment. What a lovely setup for their home.
Yes.
You got the dual recliners right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So if they just want to be on their own comfort by sitting beside each other, I think that's nice. And they even got a little recliner for the ghost.
Look at the hairs on my fucking arm.
Goosebumps.
Oh dear. Can we move on, please?
Yes, let's move on to the next one. Maybe it's not so scary. Let's see what the next one is.
This is called Hey Baby.
Hey, baby. So this is a monitor in the parents'
Nope.
room with the
What the
baby
hell?
sleeping at him. And it appears that the baby gets pulled off the bed a little bit.
Dude, what the hell?
It's interesting. Like the baby has to reposition himself every time, right?
Yeah. What the hell? What the hell?
You know what I don't like is when spirits pick on children and babies.
Yeah,
Like, it's a bit of a bully tactic.
it's like a manipulative type thing, but we've also remember when we read stories with like demonic people picking on like younger kids?
Yeah, so maybe it's not a spirit. Maybe it is a demonic thing.
Who knows? Who knows?
But
Yeah,
it's like, let's move on to the next one. Maybe something better.
I've still got.
You leave door 1 to door 2, and it's not any better, right?
No, this next one, and I think this is a bit of a light-hearted one. It's called "Dog Got Your Tongue."
Yeah, so we started with a dog, and we'll end with a dog.
Okay, it's only a 40-second video, but let's have some fun. Okay, it runs through. What?
I watch the cat. He's like, what the hell did I just see? That just makes me appreciate cats a little bit more because they're just like what they actually like. He could come on the show and be a reactionary to these videos.
You gonna watch that one again?
Sure. You know what we could do?
Okay.
We could, whenever we see something whacked on here, we can take a video of the cat and put it up. It's like, what?
I think I sent you that one. I thought have a bit of comedy with it.
Yeah. Sometimes you need a little bit of lighthearted stuff, especially when this show is so scary sometimes.
Well, you proved that with the haunted gamer video.
Yeah, so definitely the haunted gamer. I think that's the scariest one. Then the baby.
Yeah, but I mean, you said you saw my facial reaction when obviously with the reflection.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to go back and watch that. That is
Hey,
freaked me the hell out.
It's our buddy Shane.
Two sweet boys.
Too sweet. How's it go? Too legit? How do we do that? Oh, it's just too sweet? Is that what you do?
How about that?
Yeah. Oh, it's the wolf pack, right?
Yes, similar to that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 4 life. How do you do life? I don't know. It's been so long. Live long and prosper.
Oh, dear. Are you ready to put the seatbelts on?
I'm ready to put my seatbelt on. And our captain will be flying at 2 million feet. And we're going to go all the way around the effing galaxy.
And we're good to take off.
This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you aboard this paranormal flight. The duration will be 30 minutes exactly. So sit back, relax, and Canada Dry says that it's free peanuts for everyone on board.
We're all out of peanuts. We do have walnuts, though.
Oh, well.
But we don't have any of those crackers, like that.
The nutcracker, no.
So you can get it. We'll be passing around hammers, and you could just hammer them. Do not hammer other passengers. I'm warning you.
Unless they piss you off.
If you hammer your another passenger, you won't get any more walnuts.
Of course, the effing Galaxy is brought to you by our very first sponsor, which is, of course, FTW Wrestling. $250 a month. Get trained by two good friends of the show, Natalia Markova and Brian Idle. Canada's right. It's Florida, I believe.
It is Largo, Florida. This is just 20 minutes out of Tampa. And if you've never been to Tampa, I've never been there either.
Okay, here's a little video to give
Play
you guys a little
the video.
Determination, perseverance. These are the qualities that make a champion. Do you have what it takes to be the next wrestling superstar? Are you ready to turn your dreams into a reality? At Fight the World Wrestling's World Wrestling Academy, we can help you become the champion you were meant to be. Our world travel trainers, Brian Idle and Natalia Markova, are well-known industry professionals with years of experience in the world of wrestling. From the basics to advanced techniques, they are dedicated to help give you the tools that you need to succeed in the ring. Our training program is tailored to challenge you, push you to your limits, and help you discover your full potential. Come join our diverse group of talent. Join us at Fight the World Wrestling's World Wrestling Academy and make your dream a reality. Visit our website or contact us to learn more and start your journey to the top today.
Aaron,
Stay tuned.
dirty man slut.
We need that cat. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna edit that cat. So whenever something happens, we can hit that cat. Like,
You said play at a point, so I just played it at that point.
you know what? Whenever you need to do it, I'll be your man slut. Anyways, you say man slut, and Eric Newcomb shows up.
Okay, that's really weird timing, I suppose.
Well, he's always saying things like "you slut" and all this kind of stuff. Of course, Eric Newcomb is the guy whose band produces all the stuff for our intros. Ladder Match. Check out their album; it's really good. I posted it to the Facebook group.
Yep. What more can you say, right?
Yeah. Okay, so what do we got first in the Galaxy news?
We're going to start on something a little bit shocking, to be quite honest with you. I mean, Billy Jake Haynes is apparently been murdered his wife. Apparently, this is I can't believe I'm reading this, to be honest.
Okay, so Billy Jack Haynes, if you don't know him, he was famous in WrestleMania 3-ish time. He had a big match with Hercules Hernandez. And he was so freaking buff at the time. But he'd said some really wacky things lately, like he believed that Chris Benoit was actually Vince McMahon's son or something like that. But yeah, he said some weird things, and he's just going full of loony bin. And apparently he killed his wife this morning. And he's been arrested.
I mean, do you know, with everything what's gone off in the wrestling world over the past couple of weeks, I mean,
yeah,
what can you say with this? It's not good, to be quite honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's like sad when your wrestling heroes turn crazy.
Yes, very, very true. I can't really comment on it because it's just like, it's just shocking. And like I said, at the minute, there's a dark cloud over obviously wrestling at the minute with everything that's going off.
Hopefully we'll get some better news later on. Of course, what do we got next?
So I want to get obviously the dark stuff out of the way, and as we know,
do you want to show Shane's comment really quickly? Sorry,
this one.
Yeah,
it was like decades ago when he had a wild conspiracy. Benoit was murdered and framed. Okay, very weird.
So go ahead.
Sorry. So yeah, Brett obviously now has obviously spoke up about with the Vince thing. Obviously, a lot of people's now given their take on it, and I've got the comments here. Let me just find it. Sorry, I've got to like chop and change between each one. So, in an interview with Slate, the WWE Hall of Famer expressed his commitment to honesty, highlighting his indifference to McMahon's settlement due to the McMahon historic discard for his own. Hart commented on severity or disturbing nature of the allegation against McMahon, likening his resilience to scandals that the Teflon guy who remains unscathed due to his wealth and influence. So the interesting thing is he's basically saying that because he's got money, he feels like he's untouchable in a way.
I think you're looking at an old article, Liam.
Am I? No, I'm
It
sure
might
that's
be.
recent. No, that's February 9th. That's recent.
So I'm going to speak my truth. I'm not worried about Vince's feelings. He's never cared about mine. I don't
Okay.
have any problem with everybody kicking his head around the parking lot. I'm okay with the truth coming out. I don't think this is the only incident of this kind of a predatory nature. I think you'll find that it's everywhere in WWE. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein. Vince will be a joke. He'll be used for humor, and you'll shake your head at the shock value of some joke about him. What did Vince McMahon do? He'll always be associated with this story, especially as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I always had a respect for him. Now it's tainted. I'm embarrassed that I thought so highly of him. I think, despite all the issues I've had with Vince, I know deep down I've always respected, but now knowing that kind of weirdo he became, I absolutely have zero respect for him. I do not think I could ever shake his hand, even extend it. It's too creepy.
Now we have actually got the same article, but just the one I've got has got a little bit more, added. That's where we're getting to. So what you
Okay,
said,
we get straight to the Brett's words is what it was the difference is. Okay.
yeah. So I'm just double checking.
My favorite part of that is I don't have any problem with everybody kicking his head around the parking lot.
And you know what? I feel like there's going to be a lot of anger, especially backstage. I mean, a lot of people, obviously, who I know in wrestling, have obviously spoke up about it. And for me personally, when I think about it, it's sickening the fact that this is a guy that we've grew up with during the wrestling world as a whole. And we've said it, the whole, obviously, the court documents and stuff like that. It's sickening, but on the other hand, you're thinking, well, at least this person's come forward. They've said, obviously, they're not basically held back. They've get all the details, and yeah, it's shocking, but I think it's made a lot of people realize exactly what he's like.
Yeah, and I think that, just like Brett said, more is going to come out.
Oh, I think everyone said that. This is not over. You got to remember, was it $12 million? Obviously in hush money. We know the $3 million of it.
Yeah, the other thing is, if Brock Lesnar can be taken out, anyone can be taken out of the wrestlers. Yeah. If he got Brock Lesnar roped into this, then who else is roped in?
Well, Johnny Ace is throwing a lot of people under the bus, to be honest.
Yeah, so we'll see who else gets into this. I don't want to say any names just in case. Sorry, but
yeah. Now, the sad part about this is now this story is obviously in the news. There's a certain wrestler's name who's sadly no longer with us. I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm referring to. Her name's obviously come back up, and I hate the fact
Ashley
that...
Mazzaro?
Correct. I didn't want to obviously name because it's like I didn't want to have to make her respect, but...
Well, we respect her because she went through a lot, and we honor the victims, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But the thing is now she's not here to speak, up about stuff like this, and that's the sad part.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so the other thing that came out was that Vince and John Laurinaitis, when she was, I guess, drugged by an army official, they told her to keep it quiet because they wanted to maintain the relationship with the United States Army and going to shows over there.
Yeah, this is really going to get messy. Do you know what I mean? It's plain and simple. There's going to be a lot more coming out. There's going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of things, I think.
Shane says it's a shame what happened to Ashley.
Absolutely is. It most certainly is. But anyway, I want to shift focus a little bit and something a little bit more. It's still shocking, but quick one here. Scott D'Amore has now been fired by TNA. This is
I
upset
didn't see that one coming at all.
No, this has upset a lot of people, and more so me as well, because you've got a guy here that it was well documented TNA was going through some bad things, and he's basically got them out of the mud. Look at where they are now, and I think there's more to this than what we know.
Well, Scott D'Amore, apparently he was always begging for more money from Anthem,
right?
And because he wanted to get TNA to a special place.
Yep.
He wanted to be able to compete with AEW. He wanted to compete with WWE, but the shoestring budget he had just didn't allow him. And so when they saw this new TNA emerging, I don't know, maybe they're like, we can do this on our own budget and not worry about, I don't know if it's about money. That's what I think it's about.
Do you think it's a slap in the face for Scott D'Amore himself based on everything he's done for TNA?
Oh, absolutely. Because like TNA wouldn't exist probably right now without him.
No, absolutely. Like I said, they've been through hell. They've obviously seen a lot of wrestlers come and go. They've obviously signed Nick Nemeth now, which is obviously great. The new production I really, really like, by the way. I just want to point that out. And the show's really good. Do you know what I mean? I've actually liked the shows.
It comes at a sucky time for TNA because they just had a lot of momentum, and now it's just like, did you go straight up just to go straight back down?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see where they go. I do believe, obviously, one of the executives, like producer things, is going to be in charge now. So
so the Anthem guy working for Anthem is now the president, and it's going to be more run by Anthem than being its own thing. So maybe that could be good for the brand, because if you don't have anyone to beg, you can just, if you're able to just pour the money in, that's what it's all about. If they got the money to spend and they're going to spend it, it could end up being a good thing. So that sucks for Scott, but maybe for the wrestling industry, not so much.
Yeah, this is one of these where we're just gonna have to see how this plays out. I'm kind of curious, but I just think it sucks to obviously get fired based on what he's done.
Oh, it absolutely sucks. But if they're willing to pour the money into TNA, it's good. But if they're not and they're getting all cheapskate, then it's pretty much TNA is at a crossroads right now. They're going to go up, and compete with AEW, or they're going to go down to destruction.
Now, this is an interesting thing because I just remember, as you were saying that there, I remember the comment you said a while back where you felt like TNA was trying to find an identity in a way.
Yeah. Shane goes, it could be a Ring of Honor Sinclair broadcast deal.
And we know how that ended up.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I mean, it winds me up. There's a lot of negativity, with the whole wrestling world. But we're going to shift focus, obviously, to WWE now because we've not spoke about that. Well, we have in a bit, but on the negative side. Finally, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Finally, The Rock has come back to the heel bastard that he is.
Do you think this is because of all the backlash that they've been getting? This is why it's official?
I think that this is an about-face move. I don't think they were going to do it.
Okay, what do you mean?
Like, I think because Cody said in that on my SmackDown last week, I'm going to take that belt, but not at WrestleMania. Which made absolutely no sense.
No, he left us all confused, to be honest.
Yeah, so and then all of a sudden, this week at the thing, Cody's saying, I'm cashing in on you, Roman. And then Rock slaps him.
Yeah, they should have known
that. I feel they didn't have room to say shut up, fans, because of the scandals.
Yeah, do you think that's like
the scandals not existed? I think they could have just said, too bad, this is our main event.
Yeah, do you think it's basically overshadowed the whole thing with Brock and stuff? Sorry, with the Roman and stuff?
The Cody thing?
Yeah, do you think do you think these this scandal thing's overshadowed this whole like Roman story?
No, I think it's good because in the end, it'll mean I get 2 T-shirts from you. I almost lost those shirts. I almost lost them. I almost had to get you 2 shirts, but now I'm getting them.
Yes, he's got to win though. Remember?
Yes, he has to win the match. If he doesn't win, I still got to give you the shirts. So it was a rough one for me. It's a rough one.
I'm going to watch the match going, come on, Roman, even though I want Cody to win anyway.
Yeah, you'll be cheering for Roman, even though you want Cody to win because you don't want to buck up the two T-shirts.
Oh, dear. So we'll go to, obviously, AEW, and AEW's obviously announced big business pay-per-view coming up, and one name who's rumored to be there is, of course, Mercedes Moné. What do we think?
Yeah, they got the Boston written in the background with the dollar signs. It pretty much looks like a Sasha Banks logo almost. Yeah, it's definitely Sasha. It's definitely Mercedes Moné. It's in Boston. This is her hometown. Tickets sold out. Pre-sale tickets sold out within like 90 minutes.
Interesting.
Another, so this is going to be the one where Rampage is right after that.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 3-hour big business.
Interesting. And do you think this is a good move for Mercedes Moné and AEW? Truthfully,
if they get the women's division to have more matches, I think it is. If you can get they've been putting 2 matches on Collision lately for women. So if they can get another match on Dynamite every once in a while, like it doesn't have to be every week, but if they do it every once in a while, like every second week,
yep,
I think they could pull it off.
And do you think the women's division as a whole in AEW has definitely improved? I think it has, obviously, with it.
For sure.
I mean, obviously, you've got Purrazzo. Obviously, Tony Storm's new gimmick is really, really good. You've still got Sky Blue up there, Mariah May. Do you know what I mean? There's all these young'uns coming up.
Yeah, and there's rumors that Camille is going there.
Yes, let's talk about that. I mean, rumors obviously WWE, but now that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, so it looks like Camille might be signing in AEW. And that could be good for Natalia Markova.
And speaking of Natalia Markova, and you got something coming up this Thursday?
I'll hold off on that.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about AEW and their oh shit, what was I going to talk about? Oh, they was revealed today that there might be another stadium show in the United States other than All In England.
Interesting. I'm excited for that. What show could it be though?
I don't know. Maybe a pay-per-view where they do a stadium show. Jacksonville would be a smart place for it.
Yeah, obviously AEW likes to go to Jacksonville. It's like they're kind of like their home base, as I call it.
Well, which is the show they do usually do the Stadium Stampede? Is that Double or Nothing?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, so I think Double or Nothing would be a good place for the stadium show in Jacksonville.
Yes, stay tuned for that. I'm excited for that. I think that wraps up everything I've got on my list. Is there anything you want to mention before we move on?
Okay, so now let's talk about this Thursday. We have coming back to the channel. We have friend of the show, Natalia Markova. And we're going to talk about the killcity Cup show that she was in. And we're going to talk about, just random stuff that we talk about. We're going to talk about Billy Corgan. We're going to talk about FTW Academy and whatever else comes up that we'll find amusing.
And that's obviously this Thursday at 3 Eastern. Correct.
Eastern, yeah.
Which is roughly, I don't even know what time that is my time, to be honest.
So with that, let's play that Kill City Cup intro, and everyone go check it out on YouTube here.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Kill City Cup.
the world.
Aaron, you dirty, dirty man slut.
I'm going for the balls, and I just get told off right there.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check out the Kill City Cup, you can check it out by numerous ways. Number one, it's in the description of this video. Number two, you can head to YouTube Kill City Cup, and number three, I still believe they've got a website.
Yeah, killcitycup.com.
There you go. Go check it out. Scenario time. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. Right then. Anything else before we get into story time?
I want you to know that I care about you really a lot, Liam.
Thank you.
I'm just so random. Play the video.
Here we go. Boom. Whoa, what the hell?
It's Fruit Cat.
You know what Fruit Cat's thinking here? Put me down, fool.
No, he loves it. He loves it.
The eyes are telling me differently, Aaron.
He's like, what the hell? All right, sit down. Sit down.
You sit down.
All right, so we have we're going to talk about the Dogman of Old Mill, and that's freaky.
That is a good image, by the way.
Yeah. What Newcomb wants to know what's on the beer menu.
What beer menu? Have we got a beer menu?
Let me check in the menu here. We got a lager. We got an ale.
Now.
All right. So this is it's an interesting story. This is out of Ohio. The story goes back to the 80s. And I don't know if you know about we've talked about the Dogman on the show before, right?
We have, yes. I think we've covered it a few times.
Now, we got someone from Michigan in the chat. Eric, do you know about the Michigan Dogman? Are you familiar with that at all? Because we're going to talk about the Dogman of the Old Mill. So, in Youngstown, Ohio, in the 80s, Matthew and his four friends, they like to hang out at the old mill. There's an old steel mill that had been decommissionized, and they just like to hang out there. And there was this section that was by the blast furnace that they'd like to especially hang out with because it was a big open area, and they would burn pallets, and they'd have a nice little fire in there, and they would sit around and laugh like young boys and have a good time with their snacks and just telling and laughing stories. So they wouldn't really see too much in their experiences there. They'd generally be left alone, but occasionally there'd be these wild dogs that would cause trouble, and they kind of have to get a stick and whack them away or something. Rumors had been going around that these dogs had killed a couple of homeless men in the old mill, and the police had discovered it or whatever. There's also rumors that mafia had hidden bodies in the old mill.
Wow.
And so one night when they're sitting around the fire, they got their marshmallows, they got their Mr. Pibb, they got their Dr. Pepper, and they're sitting there joking around and laughing and telling stories like young boys do. And it had been getting late, and kind of silence fell on them. They had nothing left to say. And as they're sitting there staring at the fire, all of a sudden, they hear this barking.
Okay.
And they're right by a window. So they're looking down, out, and they see these dogs run across the path. And they're barking really loudly, like they're chasing something. And a big pack of dogs runs up the hill and goes over it, and you don't see them anymore. So the boys didn't really think anything. I was like, okay, they're not bothering us. And then all of a sudden, you hear some yelping, like the dogs are in a fight. So the boys think that they found another pack, and they're having pack wars or whatever, right? And all of a sudden, you see one dog. Matthew reports seeing one dog fly over the crest of the hill into a heap of like just lying there.
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly after, he sees another dog fly over the side of the hill, and it picks itself up, bleeding, and limps off. And they're bewildered by this. And suddenly all the dogs come running back over the hill from where they came, scared for their lives, just running.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys are just like, they're this is something, right? They're like, what could have done this? And all of a sudden, this creature appears on top of the hill, and it's larger than any bear they've ever seen, and it's more muscular than a bear.
Mm-hmm.
This thing, it doesn't see them. It's just looking at where the dogs went, and all of a sudden it lifts its leg and starts to piss. Now, when it pisses, it's not no trinkle. It's like it's like a freaking hose with the nozzle spraying down, right? Just like it's causing a lake.
I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, but this creature starts pissing, and one of the boys, he's kind of taken back by this, and he hits some metal in the old mill, and all of a sudden the creature turns its neck like this.
Oh,
and it's looking right at the boys, and it had these yellow eyes, like amber yellow eyes, like it was glowing, powered from the inside, like almost like you would see like something powered by electricity coming out of it. It wasn't just, it was like effervescent coming out of its eyes. And Matthew said that it was if this creature was looking into his soul.
Wow.
And it stood up, and it ended up being like 10 feet tall.
Shit.
Yeah, it ended up when it went erect, and it's staring at them, and it lets out this growl. And the growl was said to cause such dread in the boys that it paralyzed them with fear. They couldn't move. And the creature darted towards the old mill, down the hill, and entered the building. And Matthew quickly got his wits together and got his friends, and they headed up to the 3rd floor, where I make the tag to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now, on the 3rd floor, they could obviously see down to basically the ground floor, as they call it, so where the fire was. And obviously, you could look up, you could look down, vice versa, and stuff like that. Now, it's one thing to document that the staircase leading up to that had like a few like things missing. I think there was like 4 or 5 steps because it's an old building.
Yeah.
So no dogs could really get up there. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But people could and stuff like that. Now, as they were there, they could hear like what was described as sound deep footsteps, like proper like ground shaking ones. Obviously leading towards the fire where there was. And apparently they saw a long shadow slowly making its way past the fire. And it was described as long black fur, which again represents the Dogman, which we talked about before. And a slightly pale strip down which ran down their spine. So what was like it basically we're saying it's a Dogman, right?
So it's got a skunk tail.
It's like its spine. Do you know what I mean? It's like a different like shade of like fur and stuff. Now, as they were still watching, they could see that he was like sniffing around, like a typical dog type stuff. And this is kind of cool. Now, as he was sniffing the air, he did this simple proper, focus, on them.
Yeah.
Now, the scary part is now that Matt saw his left paw as like momentarily disappear. He basically described it as though it's like it vanished into like a time warp type thing, which we'll get onto.
Wait,
later.
you're saying the Dogman all of a sudden disappeared into thin air?
No, it's his paw, his left paw vanished as though it were like in a different time zone type thing.
Oh, the paw has disappeared.
Yes. Now, he let out obviously a big growl after he obviously spotted him. And the creature basically was described vaulted to the stairs. Literally went straight, to the stairs, straight up to, where they was. Now, the scary part is after this obviously happened, Matt and his friends thought, that's it, we're done. Do you know what I mean? We can't, we're trapped. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And as they obviously went to where the 3rd floor stairs was, they came face to face with the creature himself. Now, as it stood there blocking the staircase, it basically took a step towards them. So immediately Matt's thinking, that's it, we're done for, guys. Do you know what I mean? You might as well just kiss your ass goodbye, as we call it, and stuff like that. Now, weirdly, a train obviously was passing through the complex, and it was blasting its horn, which kind of like deterred, let's say Dogman, right?
Yeah.
And the Dogman's trying to like focus obviously on the children, but also on the horn at the same time. Now, the second horn seems to have obviously worked because the Dogman simply ran back down the stairs and kind of exited, kind of like vanished. So I don't know why a horn would like deter this man so much. It's weird, honestly. And now, obviously, after this, the Dogman eventually went into thin air, back to where obviously it came from. They, one of the friends started to panic. He was like, "Oh my god, what's happened?" Do you know what I mean? It proper started to cry and stuff like that. So, I mean, everyone would be, would you?
Possibly.
Now, after about 30 minutes, obviously trying to like come to terms with what's just been happening, they obviously left. Obviously, after this incident. But they didn't speak about it until 7 days later. Now, obviously, the kids obviously got all the parents together. They're like, look, we need to obviously tell our parents about this. It's freaking us out so much. It's playing with your mind. Do you know, and stuff like that. Now, Matt's mother apparently dismissed this story. She dismissed it as like, oh, typical kids, lying, stuff like that, making rumors up, stuff like that. But the interesting thing was, his father was a little bit more understanding, and he basically took him to a priest for like local guidance and stuff. And the priest, obviously, after speaking to obviously Matt and stuff like that, he basically said that what you've seen it's evil. Do you know what I mean? And you are probably really, really lucky the fact that that train was there, which Matt believed that it was like an act of God.
That's really cool.
I ain't finished yet, by the way.
I know, but I like that part of the story.
But this is when it gets really, really weird. Because apparently there was obviously reports that people seen like creatures there and stuff like that. The authorities were aware of this incident, like the police and stuff like that. But yeah, nothing was done like to block it off. It was still like people could get there. Now this is the sad part. We're gonna end on something sad, and I hate to do this, but after all this, the children obviously needed counseling. I mean, I think anybody would think I need counseling.
Yeah.
Don't mind anybody else.
I imagine that you would have nightmares about this every night.
Oh, 100%. But sadly, two of these friends would sadly, pass away because of all this, the stress and stuff like that.
Did they kill themselves?
It doesn't say, it just said they sadly passed away.
I think they killed themselves.
Now, this leads me
The
on to...
Dogman got them. It's not funny, but...
So, the last thing I've obviously got on this is theories. What do we think?
Oh, man, this is... Oddly enough, the Dogman never hurts anyone. It just kind of threatens people. I never hear about the Dogman actually physically hurting anyone in any of the stories. He just kind of gashes a vehicle. This story, he hurts some dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But he never actually hurts any people.
Now, the one thing I've got written down here, and this is obviously something mentioned in the whole story, is portals. A lot of people believe that they're coming from, like, different thing into our world.
So that you're talking about the paw that disappeared. Could the paw have been going into a portal?
Yes, that's what I was getting at. Yep, it could be. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
So if you think about spirituality, we talk about the spiritual world.
Yep.
Where there's demons and there's angels and there's it's this other realm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Stranger Things.
Yes, I do.
The Upside Down.
Yep.
So is this creature part of the fourth dimension? Is that what it's called? Third dimension? Fourth dimension?
Third dimension?
Yeah. Is this creature coming from the third dimension? Part of our world, but just another side of it.
It's possible. I mean, the portal thing's really something which really intrigues me. And the other thing...
Is this a demonic creature?
It's funny you say demonic, because that's next on my thing. Is this demonic, though? You just mentioned that it's not there to hurt people. It's not...
Well, here's the thing. A demon cannot do damage to people without God's permission. So the worst he can do is scare the shit out of you. Because God's got his hand on people to protect them.
And again, this is all linking. This is really weird, because the last thing, obviously, I've got written down here is it religious? Because apparently I think somewhere in one of the Bibles or one of the books there, that like dog creatures come to like rid the world of like evil and stuff like that. So everything we're talking about here is kind of connected.
You talk about the fear that it's putting in people.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a creature of the underworld.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards like it is definitely demonic, but it's not there to hurt people.
It's there to scare people.
Yep.
And would hurt people if it was allowed.
Yes.
That's what I think.
But what about the train thing? That is definitely... Talk about timing.
So did the train come through the mill?
Yeah, so basically next to the like mill, there's like a train like train track.
Yeah.
So apparently the train driver had got wind of obviously, the fire? The kids obviously put there. And obviously it sounded his horns kind of like, not like deterrent, but make them aware.
Just like, hey kids, knock it off.
Yeah, typical. And then he's done it again, and what he's not realizes until after that it's kind of scared off this creature.
Yeah. It's but Matthew obviously made it out, and one of the other friends, and then the two others sadly could not overcome the darkness.
And the interesting thing is with Matthew now, I obviously read about it, is he's now taking the time to, look deep into, this type of stuff as well. So he's still learning about the portals and stuff like that. And I do believe he's got a YouTube channel. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's definitely an interesting thing that we're talking about here. You know, I guess the real moral of the story is God's protecting you. So don't let the darkness influence you where you take yourself out. So if God's looking after you, lean on that, and and don't allow that fear to overtake you. And if that's not a knowledge is power moment, I don't know what is.
I think, do you know what? I can't even top that. So here we go. That is your knowledge is power for today. I was going to go something a little bit similar, like you've just said there, which is I'm going to keep mine simple, saying don't let the darkness win.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have any magic of wrestling this week? We're going to be missing that this Saturday.
Yeah, so what's going to be happening is I'm taking my obviously sister to one of her first wrestling shows. So a lot of obviously things be acted. I do know Mr. Isaacs is obviously busy as well. But don't forget,
you can cast the wrestling show straight to the YouTube channel from where you are.
You could do, but we don't like to leave these fans disappointed because I know that the garage is obviously later on, obviously on Saturday as well, I believe.
You know what? I'll say this about the garage. Joseph Graham and I and Jeremy, sorry, Mr. Isaacs. He insists I call him Mr. Isaacs, or the effing expert. We have such a fun time on that show because it's not just about talking about After Collision. We go off the rails. We have such fun talking to each other. I wish you were awake to be a part of it because, and of course, Shane is going to be doing his Shane's Corner. Sorry, Showtime Corner. He's going to be doing his Showtime Corner this coming Saturday, where he's gonna have a subject to talk about. And of course, on Sunday we have the All Effing Wrestling show, and it's time for the call-in show. This is just totally people calling in and talking about whatever they want to talk about. We'll be doing the code routes. So what do you want to talk about?
Now, do you know the funny thing is, I'm glad I've obviously mentioned that because I've been trying to get Stan all week to try and call in, but he's not having it.
Please don't get Stan to call in on well, if you want, it's up to you. But we're hoping to hear from you on Sunday there, Liam.
Yeah, even me or Stan. I've been trying to convince him all week, but he keeps saying, no, I don't want to use that phone.
Yeah, I think he's got phone fear.
He probably has them, but you know what? Who knows? One way or another.
Look it up. What is phonophobia? Is that a word or is that something else? Fear of phone.
Hey, hang on 2 seconds. Hey Siri, what's phonophobia?
Is reluctance or fear of making or taking phone calls. Literally, fear of telephones. Do you want me to keep reading?
Did you hear that?
What did it say?
It is considered to be a type of social phobia or social anxiety. It may be compared to
all right, it's not interfering then.
In that both arise from having to engage.
Telephone phobia is reluctance or fear of taking phone calls.
You know what I have a fear of?
What's that?
Phoning for the pizza guy. I always want someone else to do it. And I never want to be the guy answering the door for the pizza.
Yeah.
What would you rather do? Make the call or be the guy answering the door?
I'd rather just make the call.
Because you don't want to be like the guy. Like especially if your friends aren't tipping properly, you're like, here's your $2.
Dear.
When I was young, my parents were out and they left me money for pizza, but it wasn't. They didn't give me enough. So I ordered the pizza, and when it came, I was like $2 short. And I'm standing there awkwardly with the pizza guy. I'm like, I don't. My parents gave me this money to to order the pizza. He's like, well, don't worry. I'll give you a tip. He said I gave you the pizza.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a break when you're a kid. Kids can't tip very well.
It says I'd rather just order online.
Yeah, order online is a good option. But sometimes it's a hassle. You got to log in. What's my password for KFC? I don't know. Right? Why are they making you do passwords for KFC? Like, someone's got to log into your account and order. I guess you got your credit cards on there sometimes, so I guess that makes sense.
Do you know the one which winds me up more? It's like, can you give me the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th character of your password? So you're there going, so you're trying to work out what the 8th character is on your password?
I've never gotten that one. I was always like, what street do you live on when you were a kid, and what was your first pet? And I was like, geez, what was that street? Of course, if you want to support us, like you're doing such a great job supporting us. But if you want to send us a few bucks, you can do it in a tip on YouTube here, or you could join the tier system, or you can just send us a big wad of cash to bigshinymatrix@hotmail.com. That's our PayPal. We don't have Cash App in Canada. We're behind the times and that kind of stuff. I don't know. But if you want a shirt, we are a podcast company that also does shirts. Of course, we got the effing Ghostbusters shirt. We got what else we got? Well, we got the Natalia Markova wearing the All Effing Wrestling Show shirt. What else we got?
We got the old school.
We got the old school. We got Adrian Adonis's. We run his store. The families entrust us to run this, and this is my favorite shirt. He appeared on a Dark Side of the Ring. There's no Dark Side of the Ring on the shirt, but it's there. And you can head on over to Pro Wrestling Tees /Adriana Thomas. We tried to do it, and we're all out of sync. But thank you so much for watching this show with us today. We enjoy when we have a few people here, so thank you so much. Like I said, do not let the darkness overtake you because God's on your side, and lean into that and raise your fists in the air and say it with me. Just keep fighting.
What?
Hi.
What do you reckon to the show today?
Well, I thought Lassie was a bit of an asshole. You know, Lassie's there to help him, but he's turned heel.
Are you assuming genders here?
What do you say?
I said, are you assuming genders here?
Well, I don't know if Lassie's a boy or a girl, but it's a girl can be an asshole.